then all I hear is sirens. Oh my God. What is happening? Hi guys, Kali's here. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel we discuss immigration adventures. My family and I moved to Canada 2 years ago from my beautiful twin island of Trinidad and Tobago, and since then we have had a roller coaster of events, and I have like summarized these into nice little story times that I started doing, and you all seem to be enjoying them, so I'm going to keep them coming. So I did a survey on my Instagram and I asked the persons actually to choose the next topic, and this topic is I thought I was gonna get arrested. So let's jump right into the juicy details of this very dramatic story. To get started in the story, I need to give you all some background information for you all to kind of get it into context, right? So I grew up in a military household. Both my mother and father are both military. Because of that, I grew up in a very strict environment. It was like strict, yes sir, yes ma'am, right? And as well, I've had only positive experiences with military. So understand this coming forward. Like, I don't have a fear of police officers. My mom is actually a police. I don't have a fear of police officers. I've always had very positive interactions with law enforcement on the whole. Now flash forward to me landing in Canada as a new immigrant. I'm new, I'm now a minority as well. My settings are different, it's culturally different, and I feel very out of place, to be honest with you. This event actually happened 2 months after landing. At this time, my husband had gotten a job where it demanded him to work out of town. So he would pick up on a Sunday lunchtime and he would go out of town, and I would see him probably like the following Friday evening. And we have 2 young kids at that time. My son was 1 and my daughter was 3, and I was alone. So basically I was a single parent, and moving from my home country where I had my mom, I had friends, I had family, I had in-laws, I had everyone just there helping me with the kids, to now being a single parent with 2 young kids, as well as having a full-time job of my own. So 1 month after landing, I started working full-time and I didn't stop. So this was 2 months in, and I was actually working at my second job in Canada. So my first job was actually at a department store. It was a survival job, and within 2 weeks of getting that job, I actually got an offer for another job, which was actually in my field. At that time I worked in quality, so this was like my first job in my actual field of working in quality, and one of the biggest food producers in the world actually, and they had a plant in Calgary, and I landed that job working there as a food quality assurance technician. I was working the morning shift at this job, and to be honest, at this point in time, I was just so exhausted. Like, I had never gotten a chance to actually take a breath after landing in Canada. It was just like one thing after the other. You all heard from previous stories that the first night we thought that we were going to be homeless. Second night we actually got free furniture, and then from then it was like roller coaster filled of like up and down situations, and I was just mentally drained and physically drained, right? The kids were still adjusting, I was adjusting, and then all of these different changes. It was like adjustment overload. I was exhausted, and I didn't get any time to take a break. So with my job, I would usually like have to be in work by 7 o'clock, and the kids' daycare opened at 6:30. So I'd gotten them in the closest daycare that I could find, and they opened at 6:30. So which means that if the daycare opens late, I am late for work, because I work 20 minutes away driving from the daycare. Not to mention I have to like sprint to the daycare, sprint to my car, sprint when I park at work, sprint into the office to clock in on time. And this was the first week I was working there. So you're trying not to be late, you don't want to be late, you want to make a good impression, and it was just stressful on the whole. So one beautiful morning, I believe it was a Tuesday morning, this is where the story starts. One beautiful morning, I woke up one time, the kids, I got them ready, gave them breakfast, bathed them, changed them, everybody's good, we're going to go to daycare, we're going to drop them off to daycare. I reached the daycare at 6:20 and daycare is closed, which is okay because they open at 6:30. 6:30 comes, daycare is still closed. And at this point, I am annoyed because if they are late, that means I am late. And like at this point in time, every single minute counts. So the daycare opened 10 minutes late that day, which made me automatically late for work. I dropped the kids off. It was like, bye. And then I rushed to the car. I rushed to work. And I got to work late, of course. Swiped in. And I worked for my 8 hours. And then it was time to go home. So I jumped in my vehicle and I'm driving home. And guys, I don't know about you, and I don't think much people have this problem, but I have a really bad sense of direction. So up to this day, like, I still use GPS to go everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm driving home and then my phone dies. I don't know, like, I probably forgot to charge it the night before, or I don't know what happened. My phone dies. I have to pull over to the side of the highway and I don't know how to get home. I'm like flustered because I am literally lost on the highway. I have no idea how to get home from there, and I'm now trying to like recollect in my mind the directions that I took a couple days prior, because I've only been working at this job for like a week now, so it's only like been a couple days that I've been making this transit, and I cannot remember, guys. I cannot remember. My phone is dead. I can't call anyone. I don't have anyone to call, even if I could call someone. And I was almost at the brink of tears because remember, I have kids also to pick up from daycare, and there was like this ridiculous fee for every 15 minutes that you're late, you have to pay this fee. Either way, I am late for picking them up from daycare. And I can't get home. Most importantly, I can't get home. I'm lost. I am lost. I start to pray. And I start to cry. I literally start to cry because I was just so stressed out. Tears started flowing from my eyes. I am in full out crying mode. Not even pretty cry, ugly face cry. And it wasn't even the fact that I was lost. It was just the fact that I was overwhelmed, and that cry felt really good. So after about 10 minutes of just hashing straight out crying, I decided, okay, you need to pull yourself together, drive until you see something that looks familiar. So I'm back on the highway and I'm driving like super slow because I'm trying to kind of get my parents. I'm looking at the side, I'm looking at the signs, I'm looking at the like landmarks, trying to see if I could find somewhere that looks familiar so I could find my way back home. So I'm like making some turns, I'm trying to adjust, I'm flustered, and then all I hear is sirens. Oh my god, what is pulled over? Up until this point, I had never been pulled over in my entire life. So I'm being pulled over and I'm like, okay, calm down. You're being pulled over. It's okay. You did nothing wrong, right? I'm giving myself the prep talk. You did nothing wrong. You have nothing to be afraid of. Calm down. I pull over to the side. Police vehicle pulls up behind me. The police officers came out. There was 2 female police officers. And they stood there by the window and they're like, license and registration. Guys, I looked in my handbag and I had no wallet. I had forgotten my wallet at home. So now I have no license, no registration. I'd only purchased this car like probably 3 weeks prior to this. And I'm flustered, I'm late, and not to mention I can't find my way home. I can't find home. I swore that these officers would just take me in. As a matter of fact, if they would arrest me, probably would have been good for me because at least they would have to take me to my home address to drop me off. Why didn't I have my license and registration? It's because when I purchased the vehicle, I put everything into my wallet because like I had to go like change the registration over to mine, and somehow it just ended up that everything was in my wallet. Guys, I was just a mess. Nothing was organized with me. Everything was just a complete hot mess. Within that time period, nothing was where it was supposed to be. I wasn't efficient. Everything was just chaotic, right? I had left everything in my wallet, including my license. Everything is there. And then for some reason that morning, I had forgotten my wallet at home. Didn't even notice throughout the day because I had no reason to use anything from my wallet. But of course, now these officers needed this license and registration, and I could not provide it. And there are many different reasons why I thought I would be arrested. One being as well that when we put the license plates We had to change the license plate from the owner's license plate to my new license plate. One of the hinges broke when we were attaching it, and because of that, my plate was hanging off. So it looks almost like if it's a stolen vehicle, right? It's almost like if it's a stolen vehicle, because it looks like if a crack job was done to get this license on. And then I'm sitting here giving them an excuse, like almost like telling them the dog ate my homework, right? Where no, I don't have my license and registration. I left it home in my wallet. And not to mention other factors too, like I thought I was going to be arrested, and that was just it. In the moment of being very flustered though, I was like, I had a moment of genius. Did I leave it in my wallet, or did I actually just put it, like, you know, sometimes you put things in the glove compartment? So I started now checking through. The officers, they went and they like were talking on their walkie-talkies, I guess. They were like talking, trying to figure out what to do with me basically, because I'm giving them this excuse. The car looks like if it's stolen. I look suspicious. I'm acting suspicious. I probably was legitimately even acting suspicious because I was just so flustered. I'd just been crying on the highway. I'm legitimately lost as well. So just imagine me in this moment, and now on top of this, I'm being pulled over by police and asking for documents that I don't have. So I start frantically looking through my car, and in one of the glove compartments, my license and registration, I had wrapped it up. At some point in time, taking it out of my wallet and put it there and did not even remember, guys. So thankfully, I was able to present my license and registration to the police officers, and they checked it out. And guys, it was at this point in time I realized that I was not even legally supposed to be driving, because I had surrendered my local license and taken up this learner's license. I had like my driving exam 2 weeks after that or something like that. But at this point in time, I was not legally supposed to be driving without someone with their full license in the vehicle. But guys, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. With my local license, I was able to drive for 3 months in Canada. But I surrendered my license before this 3-month period had finished. So I thought that it would still be applicable that I have 3 months to drive until I need to switch it over, or until I need to present this new license. But no, because I surrendered my license, I automatically cut that time period short, and they gave me back this license, which was a learner's permit, and with that had a condition that I could not drive without a fully licensed person in the vehicle. So even after all of that, giving them my documents, it still was that there was something wrong. I shouldn't be driving this vehicle. But at least they knew that the car wasn't stolen. At least they know that my story was actually checking out. It was my vehicle. And they were actually really nice about it. After I was able to present the documents, they were really nice. Before that, they looked at me like I was going crazy. I swore they were going to arrest me, take me down to the station to check out my story, right? So after that, they actually escorted me home. So I was able to drive home. They escorted me there, and they told me never to drive again until I have my full license, or at least never to drive without any fully licensed person in the vehicle. And I was able to go get my kids as well, because thankfully it was walking distance away from where I lived, so I didn't have to drive there. And I got home, and that was just another day. Like every day within the first 3 months of landing as a new immigrant was a story, to be honest with you. That was just one other day. It was a horrible day. It was a horrible day, I won't lie. As a newly landed immigrant, there's so much. You're like basically operating on grace, right? You're basically operating on grace and willpower. And some of y'all have reached out to me on Instagram telling me you're planning to land, and you've been asking me like different questions and stuff like that. And because of that, I'm actually going to be starting a settlement service. So if you go to the link in my bio, you'll actually be able to fill out a survey that I have there. And from the results that you give in that survey, I'm going to send you a series of emails about some services that I'll be providing, just to help people through to transition through this first phase of setting up their new life in Canada. Because I have so much more stories to give you all. This was just one drop in a very big bucket of some very stressful situations, and really good ones too, because the last one was a really good. So guys, if you all enjoyed this story time, Let me know below. Give me some suggestions about things that you want to hear. I'm going to be doing another video shortly about a tour of my new rental property that I just purchased here in Canada, which is so exciting. If you haven't already, head over to my Instagram. I'm very active over there. You get all the information over there. You'll see like day-to-day lifestyle content as well that I know you all want to see. So yeah, head over there, send me a message, let me know you came from YouTube, and remember, the journey is the prize. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.